to, but... Good morning. It's time for Coffee with Corky. This is the 4th week of our new Facebook Live series, Coffee with Corky. I am Corky, and I'm the founder of the Pump Station and Nurtury. I'm an RN with a master's degree in maternal newborn nursing, and I'm an internationally board certified lactation consultant. So every week we're going to talk about baby care, breastfeeding, parent issues, sleep, and so much more. If you like what we're discussing, please share us with your friends. And if you have questions today, just put them into the feed and we'll try to get back to you. Today we have a special guest, and I'd like you to meet AJ Janesco. AJ is one of our directors of client services here at the Pump Station, but I think as importantly, and maybe more importantly, she heads up our postpartum doula services. AJ is a postpartum doula, and I've had the pleasure in the last year to get to know her. I don't know how we got along without you guys before.
We're a good
so
team.
It's been a fantastic marriage for the Pump Station to be with the postpartum doulas now, and we have daily interactions with them. She comes and says hi to my breastfeeding support, the prenatal breastfeeding groups and the prenatal baby care 101.
I love coming to say hi to those classes.
Well, because parents are confused a little bit about all the postpartum, or the lack thereof, of postpartum availability out there. What do parents really need? And the question often comes up, things like, what is a doula? What is a baby nurse? What's the differences? So could you introduce yourself to our listeners and watchers and tell us about postpartum doulas?
For sure. Thanks for having me in to talk with Coffee with Corky.
Couldn't wait.
Absolutely. A postpartum doula. You want me to start with kind of what a postpartum doula is? Or?
Well, yeah. I think that people, and maybe a differentiation between other things that are out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so confusing for parents, and a great way to start is in your classes. You're coming to those baby care classes, and you're learning so much, and you're getting the breastfeeding knowledge that you didn't even know you didn't know. But the scary part, I think, is when people come home. And
yeah, I'll never forget walking in the door with my first child. Yeah. And I was already a nurse with a master's degree, had been working with babies, and it was still the feeling of, where do I put him?
Absolutely.
What do I do this minute?
I remember that moment, and I don't have a strong memory. So the fact that I remember that moment that my father's daughter was out, or my mom had just stepped outside and left me alone with my daughter for the first time, and her dad was parking the car, and I had been basically a doula since I was 10 years old. I had 3 little brothers and sisters, so I felt pretty confident going into motherhood, and I, to this day, remember the feeling sitting there on that sofa with my baby girl and nobody else in the house, realizing I'm the mama. And I think that's a scary moment for parents.
And do you know how many parents talk about the first night home from the hospital being the night from hell? I mean, the baby's a little bit sleepy in the hospital. I think, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Piece of cake, this baby's easy, blah, blah, blah. And then that baby starts to wake up when they go home, and it's like, oh, man, and for the first time.
And it becomes a guessing game. And so by having a postpartum doula with you during that time, it takes a lot of that guesswork out. We, work together with parents. We're different than a baby nurse or a newborn care specialist because we are particularly trained in the education part. We're a guide for the parents through this transition.
And most importantly, you are trained. I mean, you use the word.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not just... So for me, there's some great baby nurses.
Absolutely.
That said, there's not an official training program for baby nurses. They're self-proclaimed. Yeah. And many of them have accessed other training.
Absolutely.
But overall, there isn't. And so it's kind of their personal opinions on things rather than some evidence-based work.
That's a very good succinct way to look at it. I think that there are homes that do want a baby nurse, and it's important that parents educate themselves on the difference because a lot of parents, when they find out what a postpartum doula is, they realize that's really what their family needs.
Right.
And the succinct difference is, yes, the training is different. Doulas have comprehensive training. We have ongoing training. Our team here at the Pump Station even has additional enrichment, in which we pull from the lactation team.
In fact, we're having a meeting this week.
Absolutely.
For more communication,
Absolutely, and that's something that we can build on. It's sort of a one-stop where we all connect here. But I think that for parents trying to figure out what they want, some people do want someone to take over baby care, and that's what a night nanny or a night nurse or whatever you want to term it is. That's what they do. And in most cases, I find that parents want to know what we do and how we do it. And I think the best thing is helping them get to know their baby in a shorter period of time.
I think the other thing that I would say, AJ, that a doula does that I think is, for me, so respectful is that you help to gain confidence, or the parents to gain the confidence.
Absolutely.
You don't take the job away from them and just do it. You help them learn to do those things.
I think that's the biggest difference, Corky,
Me too.
is that we are side by side in there with them.
Yeah.
That's not
Teaching them to take over and read their baby and understand their babies, and rather than,
Absolutely.
oh, I'll do it and you'll take it over in a month.
Exactly. Every baby is so unique, as you know, and they all have cues. Some are kind of confusing cues. You know, the rooting cue is a natural instinct, but doesn't necessarily, you have to kind of help interpret and understand that when baby's sticking his tongue out, that's an early sign of feed, and parents can wait and wait and wait till they get to the hungry baby who may not want to eat.
Or who may be so disorganized because of the hunger that
Exactly.
they can't settle in. Yeah.
So we're helping them work to know those cues, and instead of guessing the first or second or third week, we're getting this done in the first 24, 48 hours, so that it makes for a much more peaceful transition for mom, dad, if there's pets in the house, if there's siblings in the house. A doula really incorporates that whole family aspect.
Yeah.
We support not just on a physical, we're an extra set of hands, but also on that emotional level.
Right.
We're trained, there's an acronym that our training organization, Doulas of North America, uses, and it's NEAR. We're always near our client. We're near the parents, we're near the baby. But the 4 letters of that, I think, explains our role really well. Obviously, we're there to nurture, and we're going to nurture baby. We're going to help parents extend that, kind of create a 4th trimester
So that's the N, is
environment.
nurture.
That's the end. Sort of that 4th trimester where we can help them teach baby how to be comfortable and nurtured, right? We're nurturing mom. She's had postpartum recovery, and whatever her journey's been, we're listening and we're taking care of her. There may be some self-care things we can teach her that will make her more comfortable. That's the end. The E is education.
Yes.
And that's key. We are never giving opinions. Our job is to listen to the parents and help them become the kind of parents they want to be. There's so many parenting philosophies.
So you're a little bit
now.
psychologist, a little bit.
I wouldn't say that. I would say we're good listeners.
I think what we do has a huge component of psychology in it.
Absolutely,
And I think
100%.
yours does too. Huge.
That's true. Absolutely.
And I think maybe what you just said is listening is really important.
It's listening. We're not there to talk. I'm not there to share my birth story. I rarely talk about my own child or my own breastfeeding experience because that's not my role. I'm there to be...
But it's a part of who you are.
It's part of my experience and what's brought me to this journey, but I don't want it to influence moms in their decision and what they do or how they do it. We're just very much in tune with the energy of the house. If it's a little stressful, we might do some things to kind of bring it down, you know, and we're very in tune with the environment. So the education part is, it's not our opinions. We're not here to say, oh, this is how you do it, and this is the only way to do it. We kind of offer evidence-based
Here's how some people do it, others do this.
Yeah, this works for some moms, this works, check with your pediatrician if you don't know. We're very kind of helping them figure it out as they go through. But evidence-based links, we often follow up if a parent has a question on
education and
something.
also evidence-based is that E.
That's our big thing, absolutely.
What's A?
A is assess. And this is where our training stands out, I think, in some other professions. We're trained to know what we know and what's within our scope, and we're not shy if something is outside our scope, after assessing it, to then refer.
And by the way, that's a beautiful thing, because they call us really often with questions about what's going on with a particular case, so we can really add another dimension to what's going on, and of course then you're learning from us and we're learning from you.
We're building on the village for the family too. You know, when they have a lactation consultant that talks to their postpartum doula, that's a beautiful marriage, and it makes their job much easier too. So I think the assessing and the referring.
Oh, that's R is referring.
R is referring.
Oh, cool.
So we go right into it, but they kind of go together because we're assessing what's, I don't like to use the word normal, but what's a regular range for a baby. For example, if we see something that is outside of where parents should worry, we're not going to just sit there and guess. We're going to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
So many parents have so much anxiety and fear in those first couple of days.
Do you sometimes call the pediatricians as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would advise the parents too,
Yeah,
but there are times where parents have asked me. In fact, this week I accompanied a kind of an early baby to a couple medical appointments, and it was very helpful. We'll take notes.
Plus, you learned a lot too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we learn a lot from them as well, by calling and talking and back and forth. You know, what do you think? Why is the role of the doula so important today? What happened in our cultures that made that so important?
Oh my gosh, I think that's such a good point. For centuries, you know, birth doulas have been around forever and ever, and they help moms through labor and delivery.
Right.
Postpartum doulas have only been around probably less than 2 decades, and it's because our families have changed so much, our family structure. Yeah. We've got grandparents that part of the baby boomer generation. They're still working. They may not be able to come and
Right.
stay and teach everything they know. They may live on the East Coast. They may live abroad. We have so many families, particularly in California and Los Angeles, who
For sure.
are here alone. And you physically need an extra set of hands.
Our Hollywood community, almost no one has family
Yeah,
because they've all
absolutely.
come here to be in the industry. Oh, by the way, the industry here is movies and music and
Absolutely.
TV, etc. And in that area, that writers and all those kind of people are here from somewhere else, and they need that help. So,
And it's an unpredictable career too. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes
Oh,
you need more
yeah.
support. So we stay with those
For
families
sure.
for a while.
and how many cultures, actually all cultures, had a plan to take care of the new
Mhm.
mother, but that's gone away now.
It is. I mean, we used to live in tribes and small groups, and we had aunts who had successfully breastfed and grandparents, and so much of that now, it's our friends, and everybody gives parents such well-intended advice. You know,
Yes.
the neighbors
And the
friends,
internet. Oh my God!
and
Do
the
you know how many
internet.
times a day I have to say to a parent, "Hey, maybe better get off the internet or find a few sources
Yeah.
that are reliable on that internet." But a lot of it is frightening parents and
agree.
confusing parents.
I agree. That's one of the first conversations I'll have with a new family is, you don't have to search the internet anymore. You've got us. You've done the first step to kind of simplify that. We're current on anything that comes out. Partly, you know, with the pump station community, we're all in connection when there is something that moms might not want to miss. We're in tune with
And we
it. We're
remain
gonna
so.
tell
I
them.
mean, somebody sees an article, Cheryl sent an article just this weekend on something really important that we're going to flash out to everybody, that we try to keep really educated on that. There was a question that came in my mind, and it'll come back to me.
I
Until then.
Absolutely. Until then, there's tons of reasons. The other reason I think that parents want this extra support now is because we know more. We're learning so much about the brain development
Yes.
and the beginning of life and what we can do during that time to help baby have the best successful start. And who doesn't want that for their baby? So
Taking away all that fear that has been planted so deeply in our culture from 100 years ago, when psychologists of the day, who, without evidence-based, told parents, don't touch babies or you'll ruin them. You'll make them mamby-pamby, whiny, dependent. And now we have evidence-based information to the contrary that says the more we touch and handle, the healthier kids' brains will develop and the healthier their whole mental health will be. And so
Absolutely.
being able to teach parents, as you do and I do every day, some of the basic, we call it Harvey Cart, but he is not the invention of how to calm babies, but he's sure done a great
makes them
deal
happy.
to educate people on this
Absolutely.
subject. We can take those informational pieces, which I've been doing since before I met him, on how to calm and settle and soothe.
Absolutely.
And that's a gift to parents, because if they can do
100%.
that, then they're going to get way more rest and they're going to enjoy their baby more. And I think the understanding, too, that you're able to share is how different babies are.
Absolutely.
They're just not the same
And it's such
as
a
we are.
beautiful thing to watch this confidence grow as
Yeah.
parents learn that.
Isn't it?
And you know, the babies change so much. Just anatomically, the size of their stomach in the first 10 days goes from a marble to a tumor marble. It's a huge growth. So to help them understand the changing needs of their baby is the best thing. And then they gradually get more and more confident. And when the baby changes, well, he did this today. They are able to then draw the conclusions and learn from watching what happens. So it's such a great role. I just
Sure.
love what we do.
What would you like to share that I haven't picked up on today? What would you like to share with everybody?
I think that the biggest key that I would say to parents is anticipating what you need is so hard. People say, oh, I might want a doula, but I don't know what I need. I don't know how much time. So really thinking about it before baby comes and preparing, if grandparents are going to be on site. We love working with grandparents because so much has changed.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love to explain
We
why
have
we're
a
doing
class
these
here
things.
for grandparents.
I love our grandparents' wisdom class. I recommend that often because there's so many dynamics happening, and parents now know that the way our moms and dads didn't swaddle us or the other habits
Or
they
the
did
most
or didn't
different
have.
thing is that they were told they had to put their babies
On
on
their
their
tummy.
stomachs. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So helping to understand and give reasons why that happens just kind of brings a whole piece to the home.
Yeah.
So my thing would be to kind of plan and try to anticipate what you need. You're going to need to eat more, particularly if you're a breastfeeding mom. Plan your food ahead of time. Plan your household those first couple weeks to run as smoothly as possible. And if you need a resource, if you need a guide, if you need a team member, if you need a coach, Postpartum Doulas, we're here.
And for us, you'll even go out and do a birth assessment.
Before baby visit. They're my
Before
favorite
baby
things
visit.
to do because there's so much excitement in the home and every parent wants to have the best for their
And don't you
baby.
think even those who have taken Baby Care 101 and breastfeeding still have great help by having somebody
Oh
come?
yeah, it's a customized
see
approach to your
yeah.
nursery. Like they learn so much information in general in those classes, but when you could bring me into the nursery and I'm looking at what beds you've got, where you're thinking baby's going to sleep, what clothes you think you don't need a lot for a new baby.
Yeah.
You know, you really don't.
know.
You need some basics and you need some things to make sure mom's comfortable.
Right.
So what I like to do is just say, here's the basics and here's how we're going to set you up for success. And I think when I leave those visits, I usually spend 2-3 hours just because they're so much fun.
Yeah.
And when I leave that visit, I feel a peace in the home. I feel a relaxation,
They're just
a
kind of
preparedness. Yeah, and then the baby comes, and we'll get to know the baby and what their needs are, and then it all starts all over. But it's such a wonderful journey to share.
Do you share with parents that a temperament of a baby is inborn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they usually recognize themselves right away.
It
It's funny to see that.
is funny to see, and how it takes longer than 2 weeks for them to start identifying. Oh, this is what he needs, and this is what he's doing. It takes 6-8 weeks before parents can say, he's fussy because, and it's going to take a little time. To
It
get to know
does.
that baby.
It's a journey, and it ebbs and flows, and it changes. And we give some apps and some resources that kind of help anticipate those milestones. But honestly, if you're open to having a postpartum doula in your home, that we stay about usually at least 6 weeks, and by
But if you
3
want only
months,
2 weeks, you can have that.
we can do shorter long terms. That's a beautiful thing working here. At the
And how
pump
many
station.
hours a day is average for parents to utilize you?
8 to 12 is typical.
Yeah.
And in the
But
beginning,
you could have a 4-hour stretch in the afternoon if that's what you wanted.
we'll do 6-hour stretches in the afternoon. We want to be there for consecutive feeds so that they're getting the most value for that education.
Yeah.
It's hard to just be there for one feed, or you really.
But
need
wherever
to
somebody
experience
lives, whatever
that.
town out of this
We
area.
go all the way from Orange County to Oxnard.
But somebody lives in New York or Georgia, they can find doulas in their
They
neighborhood.
can,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to even help refer. There's some great resources to do that. We have some team members that travel. So whatever the needs are, the beautiful thing is that with our village here, we can really customize that approach.
Yep.
Whatever families need. I've been on set with families. We can go to different homes. Sometimes there's all kinds of extenuating circumstances. Some babies are in the hospital.
Yep.
We'll even visit there. So we really do whatever the family needs to feel at peace and comforted with a guide by their
And
side.
how do people reach you?
1-844-428-BABY.
And through the pump station?
Or through the pump station. Either store, any of the girls in the stores can answer questions
Yeah, but
about us.
are we
Go
sharing your
Mel in Santa
email?
Monica. Doulas@pumpstation.com.
And it's
DOULAS@pumpstation.com.
It's not the pump station, it's pump station.
Yes.
Doulas@pumpstation.com.
You got it.
Anything else? Please tune in again next week. I think we're talking about cloth diapering,
Charlie Banana.
Charlie Banana, and then we're gonna have
New brand we're
the
carrying.
Charlie Banana person, inventor, founder.
Nice. I love Charlie
Here,
Banana.
I like these interviews. We're going to do lots more fun interviews in the future, and anytime a new topic comes to our attention, we're going to bring it to you, and it might not be definitive, but it will be discussion points for you to think about as you're having and raising your babies. See you. Happy 4th of July. Look at AJ's shirt. Tomorrow's 4th of
Happy
July.
Independence.
We didn't get the day off, but we're happy to be here.
Thanks
Have a
for
great
having
day.
me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.